Is the long tail dead? Over the next 3 minutes, I'm going to discuss with you two competing economic ideas and how they're playing out online. In the red corner, we have the long tail, which is all about the democratization of commerce. In the blue corner, we have the 80-20 principle, which is much more about the concentration of commerce. So the biggest idea in e-commerce 15 years ago was that of the long tail. How the internet was going to democratize commerce. When consumers bought a rug, they were going to buy it direct from a merchant in Marrakesh. When we bought a t-shirt, we were going to buy it from a merchant in Milan. And the idea that the long tail espoused was when you add up all of these small transactions with small retailers, their sum is greater than what's spent with the superstores. So that's the idea of the long tail. The opposing view is that of Vilfredo Pareto, who was an Italian economist 200 years ago, and he observed that 80% of the wealth in Italy was owned by 20% of the people. And this 80-20 distribution repeats many times in modern economics. So where are we now? E-commerce 2021. So Wolfgang Digital has just released our 2021 on the money e-commerce report. We've lots of striking findings, but one of them, which is interesting to this conversation, is we found that 84% of consumer spend was going to the top 15% of retailers. Okay, so this tells us that we've actually gone beyond Vilfredo's 80-20 to 84 to the top 15. So upon learning of this singular insight, you might go, oh, the long tail's dead. If we're not one of the top 3 brands, we might as well give up and go home. This is absolutely not the case, okay? What we found is all brands, large and small, were growing at triple-digit rates. On average, people were growing their revenue year on year by over 150%. So there's a huge opportunity for smaller brands to continue to grow really aggressively. The other thing we believe in Wolfgang Digital is that the long tail is alive, it's just damaged, okay? The long tail has been captured, it's been caged, and it's been aggregated by Amazon, okay? So let me explain to you what's happening here. So when a consumer goes to Amazon, they can either buy direct from Amazon or they can buy from one of the third-party sellers. Now, these guys are the long tail. There's millions of them. They've got, very small numbers of employees. They are representative of the long tail. And if we look at Amazon as a macrocosm of e-commerce, not a microcosm, but a macrocosm, we can see that the long tail is very much alive. Amazon reveal every 3 months in their quarterly earnings that there's more money spent with third-party sellers than there is direct with Amazon. So the long tail actually does take more revenue than the superstore. So the long tail is very much alive. It's just damaged, and its relationships are damaged. Its relationships are damaged because there's a middleman between the long tail and their customer. And this is problematic for 2 reasons. Number one, the middleman is going to take a tranche, perhaps an always widening tranche. But number 2, which is really significant long-term problem, is the middleman is greedily gobbling up all that precious first-party data and keeping the long tail at third-party arm's length. This is a huge problem. What this means is the long tail is essentially renting transactions from Amazon while Amazon are winning lifetime customers. Okay? So at Wolfgang, what we believe is for the long tail to come back alive, it's really important that they invest in developing those first-party relationships with their customers, and you've got to go direct to consumer to do that. So yes, there's huge opportunity there to rent transactions from Amazon, but to prosper in the long term, it's really important to keep building those first-party relationships with your customers. So if you want to gobble up more insights like this, check out our On the Money report, our e-commerce 2021 report, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.